Hey, it's Wolfy-Chan, and I am back with another manga review. And this one is a little bit unconventional because I've only started getting into Junji Ito and his works. You may have remembered, back in some of my videos, I actually reviewed Junji Ito and, his life and his cats manga that he made. About, his spooky cats and, his day-to-day life and all that good stuff. And I love that one. I actually started reading Tomoe. And I didn't know that there was a very large selection of Tomoe. And I need the book now. Ladies and gentlemen, I need the book Tomoe so bad. I didn't realize how much I would love the disturbing imagery and everything of Junji Ito till I started reading it more in depth. And, renting it from a local library, and now read Tomoe. I decided I was going to go crazy and buy one of the books, which just happens to be this hardcover, delicious baby. Venus in the Blind Spot, right? Yeah. Venus in the Blind Spot. Now, this is, a collection of his works, so let me see if I can't find, other than, some of these works, they're works. His pictures, ladies and gentlemen, you can't deny. Look at this. I would almost love this as a poster myself, just in my living room. I mean, for that one, nobody would judge you. It's just a pretty lady with swirls. It's when you get into crazier stuff that people might judge me a little bit for. Yeah, but don't judge me. You're watching this, don't judge me. So, some of the collections are just awesome. And I love it. So I thought I would give you kind of a sweet rundown of what am I saying? Here are all of the titles, and I will probably go over just a few of the ones that I found amazingly adorable. So, you have all of these are short stories. They're all collected in one. And you have Billions Alone, The Human Chair, An Unearthly Love, Venus in the Blind Spot, The Licking Woman, Master Izumi and Me, How Love Came to Professor Kaorida, The Enigma of Amigami Falls, The Sad Tale of the Principal Post, and Keepsake. Now, The Enigma of Amigami Falls, I believe everyone knows about. It is creepy. It is a strange story. You even kind of get a little bit of a hinting of this. And it is weird. Now, if I remember right, I really loved Billions Alone. I think it was Unearthly Love. I did not like the chair one. The chair one made me feel icky. Ugh. Yeah, I loved Billions Alone. It was a very strange and deep story. I believe this one was the other one that I really liked because it was so weird. And so, Unearthly Love, Venus in the Blind Spot. And I think I really like Keepsake, to be honest with you. Yeah, the chair one was so weird. Ladies and gentlemen, there is weird, and then there's that kind of stuff. Oh, the licking thing. Yeah, the Master one was alright. The pole one was, say it. Oh, yeah. No, I love the end one. Keepsake. There you go. Those are the three that I'm going to be talking about. And I will go over, the disgusting one that I did not like. So, Billions Alone. We follow our main character that's been living alone and doesn't live with any other people or anything like that. And all of a sudden, and I don't really want things to go bad on my channel for showing these images, but people have been going missing And once they go missing, they come back sewn together. Dead, I believe dead. This would be horrifying alive. But they come back dead, sewn together. And you see, like, a lot of propaganda flowing from the sky from Billions Alone. There's a song going on the radio. Playing, like, Billions Alone, we can all be together, Billions Alone. And of course our person who lives alone and doesn't want to be around people or anything like that has friends outside of this world. And there's this coming of age ceremony coming up. And of course, you know, people are wanting him to go. One of his friends is. And what ends up happening is that the Billions Alone keeps getting worse and worse. More people go missing. And it gets freaky. So the coming of age party comes. And everybody's, you know, coming together. Police are here. They're showing, you know, all these things. And he goes together. The person that he's in love with, who's technically married to somebody else, or his boyfriend, girlfriend with someone else, gets him out of the police hair before the ceremony. And then all these people who were, you know, in the gymnasium or something that were doing this, they're all gone. There's nobody there. These were people that were supposed to be celebrating their coming of age. And these, I don't know, maybe 1,000 people are all gone. Turn the page. I forgot about how much a turn pager this was. And oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, it's, yeah. It is so weird. It is so weird. Because at the ending of Billions Alone, the person that he's very much in love with and everything like that, they go with, you know, like Billions Alone, and she's sewing up her dog, her mother, her father, all together. So that they are always together and never alone. Woo! Billions Alone! I still feel lonely now. It is a creepy story. Human chair, let me give you the premise. You see the thing I'm sitting on? You know, that thing? Someone's in it. Lives in it. All that stuff. And you're supposed to be comfortable. And it gets freaky because she can feel people and she sees faces. Our main lady in this one tells her husband about it, yada yada. And then she apparently ends up living with the dude who was in the chair with her. In a chair. Together. And it all started out with a dude giving this prestigious lady a chair so that she can sit and write. And then this woman who came into the store looking for a chair gets one in return that may have a man in it. No. No. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a big nope. I am going to admit that to you right now. That is a red flag on any relationship. Just telling you now, if you're in a chair when I find you, no, you get out. You get out. So the other one is An Unearthly Love. And this one's by, still, he drew it, Junji Ito, but it's by Edo Gawa Ranpo. And apparently, the reason he's named like this is because he actually had a love for Edgar Allan Poe. There's like a little thing in here. He also wrote Human Chair, by the way, and Junji Ito just drew it amazingly well. Yeah, he took his pen name from Edgar Allan Poe. But I love this guy's stories, but they're creepy. Human Chair was not okay. Ladies and gentlemen, when you read that, I'm not okay. An Unearthly Love is also kind of like that too, to be honest with you. It's about a guy gets married to this woman, ends up doing the do with her. Continuously saying, like, I love you, you know, I love you, Tammy. It's not her name. Sorry. She marries into a prestigious family, and she's like, you know, it's okay. Kyoko. Very Japanese. Kyoko. But, yeah, no, just unearthly loves, yeah. And he says he loves her, you know, does the horizontal mambo a lot with her. I don't believe ends up ever having a kid with her, but she ends up seeing something that's very weird. And of course, you know, he's a rich man, prestigious family, yada, yada, yada. Like, oh no, he's having an affair with me, but like, he's rich. Should I really be against that? Well, she goes up into the attic where he has his mistress. There's no one there. She follows him a couple nights and still sees that. Well, one time she goes through it, like, I don't see this woman, there's no exits, where is she, where is this going, what's going on? So she goes through, and then finds a key, opens this chest to find a very beautiful doll. Come to find out that's who he's in love with, and who he's been doing weird things with. And so she decides to mark up the doll, destroy it as best she can, yada yada, you know. And so she watches her husband now go up to the attic. Then nothing. Day comes, and he's not coming down from the attic. Nothing's happening. What's going on? Once again, can't show you the image. But he's very committed to the doll because he ends up killing himself and is holding the doll as he has killed himself. And it is just weird. Very, very weird. Very strange. The next one is Blind Side of Venus. This one, namesake of the book, I actually do like. It's very weird. The story really, at one point in time, goes from like, okay, kind of degrades, and then all of a sudden you tripped and there was a cliff! You tripped and there was a cliff and you had to say hi-bye. So, this is about a woman who sees UFOs, has a UFO club, and her dad's kind of rich. All these guys kind of come be part of the club and stuff with her. And the weird thing about it, I'm trying to find her name, but the weird thing about her and all her stuff is that as she gets closer to the guys, she starts disappearing. Like, they can see her from afar. When she gets closer and closer to them, she can't see. They can't see her. And they don't understand why. So, they can see when she walks away, but when she's right immediately in front of her or them, they can't see her. And of course, you know, they were part of the club. Maiko is probably how you say her name. But Maiko, you know, got a big follower. Her dad didn't like that all these guys were being around her and anything on this club. Well, weirdly enough, he decides that he's going to do something so that they can't see his beautiful daughter. So he makes them, he makes them not able to see her. He implants something in their brain, gets them drunk enough, everyone passes out, implants something in their brain so that because of the earrings that she's wearing, because they were her mother's, and she never likes taking, you know, she only takes them off for bed, never takes them off, they can't see her because it's transmitting a signal to their brains via this weird chip that she's not there. And when a new guy comes in and is like, oh, he can see her and all that good stuff, like, it's hard for the OG members to tell this guy, like, we can't see her anymore. And they start freaking out and yada yada. And they are all obsessed with her. And one guy who's slightly rational is like, we shouldn't do this, we should just let her go. And they're all kind of weird and stuff about that. So they end up disbanding the club, or his dad does. Her dad does. Maiko's dad does. And of course, the new guy who was part of the group, he also implants something in her brain, or in his brain, so that you can't see him. It's very tiny, yada yada. You get this really beautiful color piece. That's like, oh, well, you can't see her, and y'all won't want to be with her then. I'm sorry. They all went to this group thing together, and you keep doing this to people? Like, stop. You are crazy. And the dad actually is crazy. Because in the end, all the creepy guys who wanted to see her and hold her break into the house, and I can only assume do terrible things to her. And the one guy who's like, stop it, gets passed out. Her body is found. Dad, talks about all that stuff, and yeah, it's really, really bad. It is my personal, one of my more favorite stories in this book, but oh my goodness. Because in the end, the dude's like, I couldn't see her anymore. Now all I can see is her. If I'm like laying down or staying still or something. Like, look at these colored images of this stuff, yo. This one. Dish pup. Oof. Oof. So the next one, I love you guys. I can't. I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. I'm so honest with you that the licking woman, oh my god. Oh, it's disgusting. And like, that's the whole thing with Junji Ito. Horror and disgust and just unpleasantness grows in you when you read his stuff, because he tells it good. He makes you read it and go, oh, this may be a little bland, and then you turn the page. You turn the page and you're gone. You see it. You see the things that are happening, and you're like, I gotta keep reading it to figure out what happens at the end. I got it. So I love his artwork. It's great, but the licking woman needs to get in my brain. So there's a big thing going around that somebody is licking people, and then they're getting hurt, or it's like acid on the skin, and it's not going well. So her tongue is disgusting. There are blisters, there are things. It's disgusting. So it's disgusting. So people are making these bands to try and find her, try and see where she is, all this stuff. Let me repeat how disgusting it is. So, if you lick her, or you lick like the saliva that was on her, stuff like that, and let's say a dog does that. Dog is vomiting its own stuff and foam, and it's dead, and dude, we're following this one girl, like, her boyfriend's dead because, oh my god, ladies and gentlemen, it's disgusting. And by making these groups to find her, they found out if you do rubbing alcohol immediately on it, you won't get infected, but you do itch for a while. Great, that's great. I love this. So they do end up capturing her, finding her, and the girl, the tongue gets in her. So woman gets captured the first time, then gets sent in. They find that like nothing's weird with her or whatever, and then they release her back into the people. people who have seen this are like, I can't, like, if people want to kiss me or lick me, I'm like, no. Bye, Felicia. Like, no. Can't play with them because of the tongue. But then, she finds it again. It inserts weird into her mouth. It's disgusting. She's like, rubbing alcohol. God! It's disgusting. And then, like, she pours rubbing alcohol on in everything, and it burns her, and the tongue jumps out. Then the girl ends up like, okay, we're moving on. It's dead, yada yada. Ends up kissing her new boyfriend. Tongue turns into whatever that is into his mouth. Everyone's dead, and there was a jumping tongue around. No. There's definitely no. Master Uzume and Me is about Junji Ito and his love for Uzume and all that good stuff. Really cool. How love came to Professor Kairida. It's weird and very mental because a girl dies. She loves this professor, keeps showing her work. He doesn't give one about it. He's like, just, no, it's not worth it. A pastor comes up and is like, you should really at least care for her. He tries to kind of like, just let him slowly warm up and then, you know, it'll be fine. It's not. She ends up dying. He's like, I can feel her spirit of her and yada yada. And the pastor thinks of this one woman. I can't show you it, but thinks of this one woman. And that one woman was somebody who trusted him and all this stuff. And it's so weird because it's like she mentioned that she doesn't want him to like leave her and all this stuff. And the ghost was not the lady who jumped and killed herself. The ghost was for the pastor. And that soft wind that he's feeling is just her. And she's just like, don't leave me, never leave me, yada, yada, yada. Creepy. Creepy. Next one, the Enigma of Amigari Fault. People have holes that are the size of them. You are compelled to walk through them and you become something else. Read it. It's really good. It's also really weird. Main character falls in love with someone and tries to make her not go into her hole. Doesn't work. Lesson learned, kids. If somebody wants to go into a hole that looks like them, you can try. It's not going to work. Just let her go. Just let her go. You'll find your hole. She'll find hers. It'll be fine. The Sad Tale of the Principal Pole. It's not very well explained, but dude gets trapped under a pole and you put a little thing there. And yeah. It's really weird and yeah, it's a short story. Worth a little read. The Keepsake is disturbing, ladies and gentlemen, and I love it. So, this one is about a guy, Tomokichi. Tomokichi loved his wife. She couldn't get pregnant. Then fell in love with his mistress. I believe found out that she got pregnant. And then she wanted him. So she's like, here's a poison. You give it to your wife slowly. And then she'll like die. And then you're fine. So, you know, here's a beautiful color sheet. It's a very beautiful color. But, so they end up burying her and all that good stuff. And weirdly enough, 9 months later, there's a weird crying noise at Tomokichi's wife's grave. They undig it up. There's a baby. Okay. So they keep the baby. He, Tomokichi, and his new wife, she doesn't want anything to do with it because she has her newborn. They throw it onto a maid because he's rich. And so the baby gets raised. Well, the baby, let's be real with you, the baby is weird. The baby is weird. Yep, this is a creature, ladies. This little guy, yeah, can give nightmares, I assume. So, Tomokichi's son, by mistress, gets scared, is screaming that Minjuro's face is scaring him. So the nursemaid, takes care of him and yada yada, tells about, like, don't unleash him, he scared my son, I will treat you very poorly. And it's like, why is the kid so weird? And the nursemaid is like, I know why, because that kid is unnatural. And this goes into the detail that Tomokichi's first wife, as she was laying there dying, calls to him and says, I want your child. This is a dead woman. And so he does the do. And then they bury her, and it is a woman it is the child of a dead. New wife doesn't like that, but she ends up getting killed. Tomokichi picks up the maid, marries her, and then 9 months later, oh yeah, because Minjuro comes in and it's creepy. Yeah, he is a creepy child. Oh, you tell me, ladies and gentlemen, is that not nightmare fuel? Last nightmare fuel. I had to read that. But yeah, so new wife, 9 months later. It happens all over again. And I love, after that reading, like, the next page is that. And I'm like, that's actually how I felt. But the keepsake, I did like it. Weirdly enough. This is a very long video to go over this, but it was multiple stories in a hardcover that I believe is worth it. The stories are definitely chilling, and oh, I'm queasy because when you talk about it, it makes you more queasy. So this is definitely worth a read. It is very good stories, very interesting to see it. There are tales that, like, I haven't heard other YouTubers talk about. So there are different tales in this one except for Amigari Fault. And it's really nice. I love it. There are weird stories. Would I read it again? Probably around Halloween because it's good. I like Junji Ito's work so far. They are leading up kind of slowly and they're drawn minimalistically. But when you get to the points that are yeah, no, they are good. They are good. This is worth a read. So, if you like this video, definitely leave a like down below. Leave a comment with keepsake if you made it to the end of this video. That way I know. And definitely don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You, yes you, more than likely are not subscribed. Why not? You should. I promise you it's good. It's good. You can, if you watch more, I might get more Junji Ito. It's up to you. And definitely don't forget to follow my Facebook or Twitter. The links are down below. And I hope that you've had an interesting day. Wolfy-Chan out. Bye.